Alright, so now it's time to make sure that our form is actually working. So I'm going to go to the online location where my site is, and I'm going to go to my contact form, and let's start filling some of this in. So put in my name, I'll put in my email address. What is your profession? So why don't we just do, I'll do doctor. I just want it to be a doctor. Just didn't have time for school, you know what I mean? Lima, or Lima. And comments we could leave blank. Although, let's just see what happens if we leave out Lima. Lima. What am I talking about? I'm thinking of Brazil. Lima, Brazil? Argentina? One of those places. So let's go. Alright, good. So that was, so it actually, there's something that happened when we didn't fill in the field. It kind of gave us that error message. So that's good. So now we have the form filled out. I'm going to click Submit Form. Now this is, of course, this is the cost of doing business over here, getting the free form. This is this big advertisement, and they see up here this itty bitty little continue link to keep you on this page as long as possible, right? And I'm going to hit continue, and this should, so that's the functionality to take us back to our page. Thanks, and then it went back to our welcome page. Pretty cool. So now let me fire up my email and see if this form came in, because I set it up to come. Remember when I set up my form over here in Response-o-matic under form options, I set that I wanted an email to come in, and this then to come into this email address. So that's a good sound. There it is, from Dragos, because that's the name I put the from. And look, so all the info came. Cool. So now I know the form works. If you fill out the form and you test it on yourself, and you don't see that it comes into your inbox, check your junk mail, because it's likely that it'll go in your junk mail. And sometimes, I think particularly Yahoo and Hotmail, sometimes because they get bombarded with spam, they have spam filters that kind of stop it at the server end, so they may not even come into you. They may not even come into your inbox, rather. So you may need to potentially use another email address, or even create maybe a Gmail address, because that seems pretty. Gmail seems pretty consistent with receiving this stuff. Anyway, any other issues that you may have at this point with this form, with my form here, I can't change too much as far as this goes. I mean, without changing the form completely. But if I wanted to send it to a different thank you page, or send them back to your website, if I wanted to set up a new page, or have it sent over to a different email address, I wouldn't have to do anything to my code in Dreamweaver or those pages. That's back-end stuff. I mean, if you wanted to add or subtract more some questions, then you would have to kind of go through all this thing and edit your HTML. But if you just want to simply, if say you had a typo, oh, that's another thing. If you're not getting an email, maybe you didn't put your email address in properly, or if it's not being, once it comes time to that response to click continue and to take them to your thank you page, if that's not coming up right, then maybe you didn't put the right URL in there, So it's important to copy and paste all this stuff, and notice how, since this already gives you the HTTP, don't give that, you know what I mean? Just start it at www. And you should be all good.